Good morning, this is the Desert Shaman, Wakia Thunder, in the spirit of Crazy Horse and Geronimo. I'll say that today because I used to say that all the time, and more people need to get in that mindset. So I'm going to talk about the Campfire Council today, a resurgence, the rising of the phoenix, whatever. Because it used to be a pretty awesome group, had over 30 members, and like I said before in a previous video, it was on Google Groups, which they dissolved. Google Groups is no longer, and they when the censorship came in, they eliminated probably thousands. They didn't want some kind of grassroots effort or communication or anything like that. Came right in with the rest of the censorship. When censorship really started like blooming, let's say. So the Campfire Council was originally, and we got a new member today. Welcome to Snake Jones. I accepted his application. You have to apply, and then I review it, and 9 times out of 10 you'll get accepted unless you look like some, let's put it this way, I do vet people to a certain extent. I might check them out a little bit just to make sure they're not from the deep state or something trying to infiltrate the group. And I have ways to know. But the Campfire Council was originally patterned after the exploits of Geronimo and Lozan, the Woman Warrior, and Victorio and Catanier, and the rest of the group that were guerrilla fighters that were being pursued by the Bluecoats. And having been raised in Arizona, I'm very familiar with that whole thing. So this is a tribe. Let's put it that way. The Campfire Council is a tribe, okay, tribal entity. And it doesn't mean you have to be Native American, or it doesn't mean you have to be of any kind of, all belief systems are accepted as long as your heart's in the right place. And it's all about survival. It's all about encouragement. It's all about banding together. It's all about strategy. Talking strategy, problems that arise, everybody else helping everybody else, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Get enough people in a group, the stronger your unified consciousness becomes towards changing your reality around you and dealing with it in a no-bones, no bullshit way. Hardcore, But it's social, too. I mean, in the last group, we posted all kinds of things, just pictures of nature, or whatever kind of picture you wanted, talked about it, shared things, shared survival techniques. I think that's a big one. What I'd like to do is I'd like to get enough people. And everybody that's watching this video, you should join. You should go to LinkedIn. I got the link in the description box below, the show notes. It's at the very bottom. It says Campfire Council. Click on that link and join up. If I get 100 views or 100 plus views, I would think that if, you're really interested in this channel and you really, maybe you're just kind of hiding back in the shadows, watching, well, that's all right too. Maybe you're just super low profile. But for those who want to, you should join up. And it's an all for one, one for all type deal. In other words, we will help each other in any way we can. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. And if one person's hurting financially or whatever, we all get together as a group and help that person out. Or if they're hurting on a they need advice or they need encouragement. These times are so pitiful and horrendous that this is a much needed thing. And I get comments, and I get people commenting, and so I expect these people will probably make the big effort to lift their hand, use their mouse, and click on the link below. Real easy. No problemo. So, I'm looking forward to maybe that expanding a little. Of course, I'm the kind of person that whatever happens, however many people, whatever. I'm not, this isn't a big campaign. I'm just mentioning it. I'm just mentioning the benefits of it. A lot of people are, I'm kind of a lone wolf. And it's always nice to be able to share conversation or whatever, ideas. So keep that in mind. It's a beautiful day here in Nevada. It's the 18th. Saturday the 18th in Nevada, and I'm in a little valley surrounded by mountains and foothills and desert and scrub brush. Beautiful sunsets here. It can be harsh, though. Can be harsh. I'm hoping this is a cooler summer, actually, coming up, because the winter came in late and lots of snowfall around. Yes, we do get snow in the desert occasionally. And lots of rain, much needed rain, because there's a huge friggin' drought in the southwest, so I always welcome that. And it is a nice day today, kind of high cloud type day, a little bit of cloud cover, which is always nice. I think I'll go out and work on been getting out and about, working on different things around here. Got a couple of things I need to fix. Things that are kept in mothballs in the winter, whatever, like my dirt scooter, my Coleman dirt trail bike. That's kind of fun. And I got to get my generator pumped up again, and I got to put up my shortwave radio antenna. Kind of went to one side, and I'm going to have to, erect that again. I like to, incidentally, if anybody out there is a shortwave enthusiast, that would be helpful too in the Campfire Council, because then we could have communications outside of, let's say, if the internet or anything like that went down, I'm ready. I've got a license to operate on shortwave frequencies, several, and I got my radio room right back here in the corner. Got to get on there more often. I got a telegraph keys, high speed, and I got microphone. So you got phone, and you got Morse code if you want to use it, if you get into that kind of stuff, and a lot of us guys do, just for fun, But I'll tell you what, if the shit ever hits the fan, then that stuff's going to be real helpful. It's going to be real helpful. At least you'll be able to communicate and see if anybody else is existing out there. I mean, things are getting dicey in the world. course, they've been dicey for quite some time. If you go back in my videos, you see I probably said that term many, many times. It gets dicey, and then it doesn't get dicey, and then it gets more dicey, and then it doesn't, and then it doesn't, and oh man. It is a tape loop, but it seems like it gets, I mean, when I was talking in my previous videos years by, I thought it was bad then, man. I thought it was like, wow, anything could happen then. But then compared to now, I mean, now it's pretty scary on some levels if you go that route. I'm not scared. It can be scary for people that aren't in the right frame of mind. And that's what the Campfire Council is about too, putting you in the right frame of mind, bonding together, being tribal, forgetting about what the fuck's going on in the world out there, or let's say putting it on the back burner, and at the same time realizing the almost requirement to gear up, maybe to get off the grid. I've been watching a lot of stuff lately that I really like about tiny homes and camping equipment and how to live in a van and make it. They got these people living in box vans that are, you walk in from the outside, it looks like, just like a regular truck, and then you walk on in the inside, and it's a whole apartment. Camouflage. They call it stealth camping. I love it. And there's people that are going out and building cabins and putting up solar panels and digging wells and actually learning how to live off the land again. Not depending on the infrastructure. Because if the infrastructure goes down, you better know how to live off the land. You better know how to farm, hunt, build a campfire. Here we go with the Campfire Council again. That's what it's about. Dance around the campfire and have a good time and beat drums and get crazy and whatever you want to do. But at the same time, having a purpose. It's kind of a situation now where it's almost like we're in World War III right now. In fact, on some levels, we are in World War III. World War III meaning not only a physical war, let's say in Ukraine with Russia and NATO and that whole bit, but there's a financial war, there's a takeover that is trying to be made, or let's say a morph, or a takeover, or a interference with the global order, let's put it that way. I think Putin is, and Russia is, and China and India are basically trying to switch gears here and take the power away from the United States, which was a phony power anyway, based on the petrodollar. Tricked a bunch of people into using the petrodollar, or the dollar, back in Nixon's day, when he went off the gold standard. Everybody from that time on had to kowtow and use the American petrodollar to do any kind of business, global financial business. that was a big mistake, and everybody got hooked in. And consequently, when they got hooked into that, then America was hegemonic and controlling, and had the ability to sanction people, which is basically, it's illegal, sanctioning people, punishing people because they don't believe the way you do, or they don't believe in your ideology. Now people are waking up, Russia, and everybody's waking up here, and the BRICS nations, Brazil and Asia and Africa and India, and actually 3/4 of the world is not on board with what the West is doing, what America's doing. At the very least, I think, you joining the council would be good, just for the fact that there could be a financial collapse. I'm not, okay, yeah, nuclear war, we're on the brink of that, but there could be a financial collapse here like 2008. I mean, they've been printing money for decades. A decade or more, they've been printing money since 2008, and the banks are starting to flounder again, big time. And they keep trying to cover it up. They got their plunge protection team for the stock market, and they got their little teams that go into computers and patch things up and give new numbers or new statistics as, unemployment and blah, 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 on and on and on. But it's all doctored. It's not real. And if you go to the grocery store, you find that very apparent. Things are going up. Weird shit's happening, man. Meat's disappearing. I mean, I used to be able to buy bison at Trader Joe's. All of a sudden that discontinued, and all of a sudden there's more proliferation of this weird genetic meat or made-up meat, and we know what they're trying to do here: poison everybody. It's creeping in, and then you got the high gas prices and electricity bills going up just a tad bit, maybe 15%, 10%. It's all a plan, man. It's all a plan. It's all a war against the American people, actually people in general. You got to have the mindset of Geronimo nowadays. You got to be locked and loaded too. Believe that. If you're not on board with that, I don't know. I've been locked and loaded for a long, long time. No shortage in that area. You know what I mean by locked and loaded. I've been of the mindset a long, long time of getting away out of the city. I'm an hour out of the city. I'm in an area where there's a pass, and ain't nobody coming over that pass in times of chaos, because the locals out here are armed to the teeth, and about half of them are vets, and the other half are ranchers and hardcore horse people and stuff like that. So I ended up in an area like this, and that was my plan all along. That was my plan a long time ago when I was stuck in the city, living in a high-rise on the 11th floor above a freeway. I decided, oh man, no. Ain't happening. It just ain't happening. So I made my way through various means and manipulations, or not manipulations, just strategies to get out here. Near Vegas. It's near Vegas, but it's an hour away. It's not in the city. Of course, I'll be able to see over the mountains the big mushroom cloud when weird shit's happened in Vegas, man. The Mandalay Bay thing, and they seem to want to pick that town for some reason for displaying creepy stuff, violent stuff. But I had planned all along to get out into a more remote area. I actually was planning on going to Williams, Arizona, and around the Flagstaff thing, and I almost made it there, but things fell through there. So my plan B was to come here. I'm a desert boy anyway. I was raised in Phoenix, Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona. Roamed around the hills with my dog and my buddy, and we went out doing all kinds of tracking and just being out under the stars and living in the desert and having campfires. Hey, there's that word again. So those were some very happy times in my life, carefree times. Never, 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 ever in my wildest imagination back then. Oh, what was I, 11, 12 years old when I started cruising around the desert and stuff. Never, I actually floated downstream in the Verde River from the headwaters down into Scottsdale on an inner tube. Did all kinds of things, climbed all the mountains, and mountain ranges, and hiked the Apache Trail, and swam in the Canyon Lake, and went to Sedona and Flagstaff, and roamed all around and felt free, like Geronimo used to say, free as the wind. Not a lot of worries back then, not really. Not a lot of in-your-face tyranny. Not a lot of in-your-face tyranny back then. A lot freer time. No gun control laws, none of that shit. That didn't come in until the assassination of JFK. But I've seen some things, I've been around the block quite a few fucking times. And seen some hardships later on in life. Not back then. Can't remember huge hardships back then, but later on as things progressed, got into the 60s, 70s, 80s. It went downhill, it deteriorated, and it seeped in, the consciousness of the deep state seeped in, the consciousness of globalists. America went from, after World War II, being relatively free, to total tyranny. We're in total tyranny now. That's why you needed, to band together. We're in total tyranny. The writing's on the wall. It's here. And we're also in World War III. Financial global war. And if you look at it, if you look at all the different cities and countries with big cities like in Germany and Pakistan and India and Brazil, and I mean every one of these places has thousands of people in the street not wanting to have it anymore. But America seems to be falling woefully short of having any courage. And I think of Crazy Horse when he said, "Courage up, my boys," or he said, "Hoke hey, it is a good day to die." That's what he said, but really, when that was kind of an off interpretation. I mean, but it wasn't an off interpretation, but the true meaning of what he was saying wasn't really felt. He was trying to encourage his braves and warriors to get on it. Don't worry about it. Got to go out there and fight. If you want to be free, and this is something the natives have faced since day one, wanting to be free, wanting to roam the land, wanting to be free like the wind, and not wanting to be fucked with. Like everybody is being fucked with today. I really kind of wonder where all these people that proclaim themselves warriors and freedom fighters, what are they doing? Are they just playing stealth and hiding back in the hills like me, armed to the teeth or whatever? I don't know. Maybe that's the best way to go. Small units, not giving a fuck about what's going on out there, seeing it for what it is and knowing what's coming or what's already here. Now that I think about it, in the past I've said, yeah, people gotta, stand up and take their country back, and that's too late. Sorry. Ain't gonna happen. That's not going to happen. So, maybe I think, I'm having a little epiphany here. Maybe I think that the best course of action is smaller groups. Cells. Helping each other gear up for whatever onslaught's going to face them. Getting next to nature now. Getting your shit together. I would like to see that even with some members of my own family. People get caught up in the routine. People get caught up in the fucking routine of life and going to work, getting up in the morning, going to work, working your ass off all day just to make ends meet. Coming home, open that fridge, grab those 3 beers, roll yourself a joint or whatever, and try to forget about, compartmentalize and try to forget about the rest of the day that went before or the world at large. And it's a routine and it's a rut. It's a rut is what it is. And my dad said a rut was a grave with both ends knocked out. Amen, Dad. You were right on with that one. Get in that rut, you might as well be dead. Might as well be dead. You got to project your energy out into different directions, and the universe will accommodate you. Great Spirit, Wakantanka, Tunkashila, Shiva, the divine energy, the divine emanation. Tune into it and ask it for guidance, and then give it up to that higher awareness and move in that direction, and things will happen. And if you don't believe so, you got to test it out and find out. Find out for yourself. Don't take my word for it. The amount of energy that you put into a situation is the amount of energy that you're going to get back from the universe. That's another thing I want to do with the Campfire Council, is keep people positive. Yes, we realize we're of the stark realization that we're surrounded by utter fucking shitstorm and chaos and enemies, but it doesn't stop us from being shamanistic, being in our own world, creating our own joy. And part of that joy is linking up with others, unifying, feeling like that you're not alone. Because let's face it, religion isn't doing it. Religion failed a long time ago, and If you ever heard me talk before, it's probably the most insidious thing that ever befell mankind. Because put mankind in that state of mind where, hey, you know what, it'll be taken care of. Jesus Christ can come down, be my Savior. I'm expecting the apocalypse, and problem is the apocalypse is already here. And was it created by, is this a sign of the times from the Bible? Not really. The Bible's a playbook. The Bible's a playbook. It's what they use. It's their script. Let's see. People are expecting an apocalyptic end time, and they're expecting plagues, and they're expecting pandemics, and they're expecting chaos, and they're expecting every man's hand will be against his brother. So let's kind of, let's move everything in that direction. And that'll keep them in their solidified state of mind, biblical state of mind, as they march slowly to their deaths, as we mow them under. That's what's happening here. People have become complacent and depending upon some off-planet God with a big long beard instead of depending on the God within, or their connection to the higher awareness that empowers them to do away with evil. If need be, do away with it. You know? I'm waxing on and waxing off here like the old days. I'm just chilling, man. Just trying to have fun. Just waiting for the big energy shift. Man, it's going to be massive. I mean, it's already here, really. I feel it every day. Shit, we got 4,000 satellites beaming 5G down on us from space. Anyway, I'm not going to belabor things today. I just wanted to mention the Campfire Council. You need to join. There's people out there, Mateo and Victoria, and I'm waiting for you to hit the link there, join up, and I know you're listening to me. And it doesn't just have to be people that are, watching my YouTube. I mean, it can be anybody, anywhere. Spread the word. I tried to do something on this Freedom Cell network, and that was a flop because they didn't follow through with shit. So I'm going to use LinkedIn for now until we come up with a better platform. Anybody got any ideas? Okay. I'm going to leave it there today. You guys have a good Saturday. Have some fun today. Get into nature. Get into what you love to do. We'll talk later.